back to another episode of Trial by Magus. This is another in my how-to series, and the first I've crafted since the release of the 1.9 patch. At the risk of being redundant, let's assume that not everyone is familiar with 1.9 already, and quickly cover the basics there. 1.9 removed the North America specific matchmaker. 1.9 altered machine gun and cannon mechanics. It also introduced wholly new consumables and equipment, which I will briefly go over here. Finally, and most controversially, patch 1.9 has now filled battles on all servers with bots with 3 different degrees of skill. Now, these changes do allow me to fly and produce how-to videos for low-tier aircraft, like the Ao.192 Kurier we see here. I had a request to do this last year, but could not, due to the very small battle sizes I ended up with whenever I tried to get material for it. Now let's take a look at what we have here. The Kurier doesn't really look like a warplane, because it isn't. Take a look at all that glass up there in the front. Might be growing flowers in there, it's such a greenhouse. This is a civilian passenger transport originally that has been militarized. It was never used in this manner by Germany, but being the lowest tier heavy fighter now in the game, she is perfect for a beginner's how-to guide. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the upgrades we have available on this, as short as the list may be. The engine, both of the engines you have available for this is an Argus model, shared with the premium FW56 Stosser fighter. You have water-cooled engines, 270 horsepower, times 2. Not that much. The boost duration on this aircraft is short. The shortest around for heavy fighters. There is no upgrade available for the airframe. The machine guns are all mounted centerline in the nose, so you have good firing dispersion there, and you have decent damage with them. Rate of fire is 1200, DPS is 23, and the effective firing range is 400 meters. You never want to fire outside of that, except in the most desperate of circumstances, because you will overheat your guns and limit the amount of damage you can do once you've gotten your enemy within range. Your tail gunner, nothing too effective here. You start off with a range of 300, you end up with a range of 300, and you start off with a DPS of 20, and you end with a DPS of 23. It's there, but unless if you have someone with 6 hit points on your tail, you're not going to be shooting anyone down with your rear gunner in this thing. The Ao.192 also can carry 4 SC-50 bombs. I never use them anymore, although you can tell by my tail fin there, I used to use them a lot. Yes, that is my secret shame. Back in closed testing for this game, I misused heavy fighters a lot. Equipment upgrades. Here we have some new options, and I have used 3 of them here, although one is an oldie that has been upgraded. You have your improved covering 1 here, which improves your aircraft hit points by 5% and reduces the chance of taking critical damage to flight surfaces, such as your wings and tail. And you have reinforced airframe. This increases your aircraft's hit point pool by 10%, stacking with the improved covering for an increased hit point total of an additional 15%. The reinforced airframe also acts as the improved armor plating used to in patches 1.8 and prior, by reducing chance of critical damage to your engines and your crewmen. Finally, I have selected Engine Tuning 1 as the 3rd equipment upgrade for my Kurier, because it basically is a maxed out engine guru pilot ability that you can move from plane to plane. And that is everything reviewed for the 192 here. It's a pretty simple beast. It is an energy fighter. You don't want to go into a furball and turn around with this thing. You want to fly above the fray, dive in after you've selected a vulnerable target, secure your kill, and use your dive speed to get out and climb back up to safety. Let's see how she performs in combat. Okay, here we are in one of my favorite maps. This is Winter War, set during the conflict between the Soviet Union and Finland early in the history of World War II. This is a Tier 3 match, and there's going to be lots of threats here in the air. There's a couple of enemy FW-57 heavy fighters, which are superior to the 192 in every way, so I'm having to keep my eyes peeled out for them. There's also a number of Tier 2 fighters here that can climb up to the same altitude as my 192. Pretty much just trying to get as high as I can on a map where you start out at extremely low altitude, and just keep an eye out for targets of opportunity. I see there's one of those FW-57 Fat Wolves up here at my altitude, the enemy Ao.192. The FW-57 is diving down low, so I don't need to worry about him up here anymore. I see that I-15 on my team is having a rough time over here, so I'm going to go try to give him a hand, but it does not look like I'm going to get there in time. No, that F2F just took him out. American 50 cals are brutal. I'm going to give this F2F a little taste of what I've got. There we go, broke his wing right away. That's why I put the improved covering on my planes now. Having your wings or tail broken is absolutely crippling. And let's go back and give that F2F a little bit more. And he's done. What more havoc can we cause over here? I'm circling around. I don't see much going on. There's a furball way off to that side of the map. There's a couple of heavies here, including that 192 I've been looking out for, who gives me a great opportunity to shoot him up. And he's doing a standard bot evasion technique, because that is an AI pilot right there. He's diving down to the deck. But I'm going to follow him down because I've got nothing left to do up there. And he is down. Turning around, I see that enemy Fat Wolf has been chewed up but is still here. No good targets around but this TSH-2, who I'm going to light up. These machine guns don't have much range, but they do devastating damage at close range. I've got a demon on my tail and I make a mistake here. I shouldn't have turned like that. I should have extended. But thanks to my reinforced airframe and my improved covering, I didn't take any damage from that other than straight up hit point loss. And finishing off that TSH-2 now and running away from the demon. Goodbye, Ivan. Let's turn back and help our friendly demon with that AO. And I got a score to settle with that demon too, although I'm pretty sure someone's going to kill him before I get there. Our primary target's going to be that Ao.192. It's the biggest threat here. Coming in, give him a little piece. There we go. And there we go. I just damaged his pilot by peppering the top of his plane, which makes him do everything worse. Fly, shoot, and he's out of the fight. Nothing left to kill but a solo AI TSH-2. So let's go ahead and secure that ace for a good match in the Ao.192 Kurier.